Introduction to plant defense mechanisms. Plants, despite being stationary, have evolved various sophisticated defense mechanisms to protect themselves from pests. These defenses can be physical, chemical, or biological, enabling plants to survive and thrive in environments where they are constantly under threat from herbivores and insects. Physical defenses. One of the most apparent ways plants defend themselves is through physical barriers. These include tough leaves, thick bark, and sharp thorns or spines. The hard, impenetrable surfaces deter herbivores from feeding on the plant, while spines and thorns can inflict pain or injury on animals that attempt to eat them. For example, the thorns on rose bushes make it difficult for herbivores to reach the leaves and flowers. Chemical defenses. Plants produce a variety of chemical compounds to deter pests. These chemicals can be toxic, repellent, or disrupt the digestive processes of herbivores. Alkaloids, tannins, and glycosides are common examples of these chemical defenses. For instance, the milkweed plant produces toxic latex that harms or kills insects like caterpillars that feed on it. These chemical compounds can also attract predators of the herbivores, providing an indirect defense mechanism. Induced defenses. Some plants can detect the presence of pests and respond by activating their defenses. These induced defenses involve the production of chemicals only when the plant is under attack. For example, when a plant senses damage from an insect, it may increase the production of defensive compounds like jasmonic acid, which strengthens the plant's resistance to further attacks. This response helps the plant conserve energy by producing defenses only when necessary. Mutualistic relationships. Plants often form mutualistic relationships with other organisms to enhance their defense against pests. For example, some plants, like acacias, have a symbiotic relationship with ants. The plant provides food and shelter for the ants, and in return, the ants protect the plant by attacking herbivores that try to eat it. This mutually beneficial relationship ensures that the plant remains protected from potential threats. Camouflage and mimicry. Camouflage and mimicry are other strategies plants use to avoid being eaten. Some plants blend in with their surroundings, making it difficult for herbivores to spot them. Others mimic the appearance of unpalatable or toxic plants, deterring pests from feeding on them. For example, the Passiflora plant produces leaves that resemble those of toxic species, tricking herbivores into avoiding them. Mechanical defenses. Certain plants have evolved mechanical defenses that actively protect them from pests. For instance, some plants have leaves with tiny, sticky hairs called trichomes, which trap and immobilize insects. Other plants, like the Venus flytrap, have modified leaves that snap shut when an insect lands on them, trapping and digesting the prey. These mechanical defenses provide an active and often lethal means of protection. Role of secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites are compounds produced by plants that are not directly involved in growth or reproduction but play a crucial role in defense. These include essential oils, resins, and phenolic compounds. Many of these substances are toxic to herbivores or have antimicrobial properties that protect the plant from bacterial and fungal infections. For example, the resin produced by conifer trees helps seal wounds and prevent the invasion of pathogens. Allelopathy as a defense strategy. Some plants engage in allelopathy, a process where they release chemicals into the soil to inhibit the growth of nearby competing plants or repel herbivores. These allelopathic chemicals can reduce the competition for resources such as water and nutrients, giving the plant an advantage. Black walnut trees, for instance, release juglone, a compound that inhibits the growth of many other plants. Evolutionary arms race. The constant battle between plants and their pests has led to an evolutionary arms race, where both sides continuously adapt to outmaneuver each other. As plants develop new defenses, pests evolve countermeasures to overcome them. This ongoing process drives the diversity and complexity of defense mechanisms observed in the plant kingdom. Conclusion. Plants have developed a wide array of defense mechanisms to protect themselves from pests, ranging from physical barriers to complex chemical defenses. These strategies not only ensure their survival but also contribute to the dynamic interactions within ecosystems. Understanding these defense mechanisms highlights the resilience and adaptability of plants in the face of constant threats.